day I was meeting with one of my clients, and I had to interview somebody with him, and he asked me what I felt in my jellies, right? And I said, such and such and such. I think this person is awesome. But I started noticing that I was able to pick up certain things and read certain things people wouldn't really get. And my client was like, do you do psychology? And I'm like, no, 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 no. And I started explaining like self-awareness and how you can start, once you start to create that within yourself, you start to be able to pick that up in other people. And it really got me thinking about how some of that is definitely from self-awareness and me growing, but some of it is also me just coming from the type of environment that I had to come from. Like always, you got to read and learn, and just overcoming the environment that I had to, just like, coming from different types of parents, and just, always got to be prepared of like, what kind of mood are they going to be in? How are they going to move? What do their face look like? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Just preparing for the worst of any situation, because you never know when they're going to blow up or what's going to happen. It really helps you learn how to exist differently. You exist differently when you gain that self-awareness. And I never really understood that was really what that is. Like just being able to learn how to read people. I exist differently around everyone. I'm observing, I'm watching, looking for tail signs, looking to see if I can trust them, looking to see if this is worth it. It has really helped me throughout life. And if you're someone who is overcoming trauma, just look at it as I want you to challenge yourself and say, how can I take this and flip this around and use this as a tool to be better, and to really overcome that family pain or the suffering that you've had to endure. How can you take that and become better than what you are now? How can you use this in your everyday life? How can you use it in your career with your children? How can you be better than what you've seen or what you've had to overcome? Many times I think that we forget that now that we're adults, like we're not those children anymore that had to go through this pain. We're adults now. Now we can create our own morals. Now we can create our own habits. Now we can rebuild character. We can tear down what we don't like. We can rebuild that back up. You don't have to be this way. You don't have to keep responding this way. You don't have to continue this behavior. This is something that you can reflect on, reach self-actualization, and you can actually work on this and become your best version of yourself. You do not have to be that child anymore that's going through that pain. And if you are still going through that pain, what can you do to actually step into it, to feel it so that you can move through it? Not live in it, move through it, right? Sometimes it's going to take being alone and only allowing certain people around. It might take you stepping back and being like, what do I want to work on? It might take you cutting off some people in your life. And that might be family members. However, this is all your choice, and this is your only one life. Why not step into it fully and cut the freaking bullcrap? You can step into what you really want. You got to take responsibility for what you've created. You can't say you're 40 years old and, oh, this is because of, this. No, like, okay, now you got to work on it. So yes, we understand that your behavior was created from this. This was a survival response. This was this and that. But unless this is still continuing to happen to you, it is now your responsibility to heal from that. It may not have been your doing the reason why it happened to you. It might not have been your fault on why this happened to you, but it is now your responsibility. And I hate saying that, but that's the truth of it. It is your responsibility to take care of this, to work on it, to heal it, to be better for you. So maybe right now is a good time for you to step back and think, who in my life isn't supporting my dreams? Who in my life is not taking me to the next step that I want to be at? Who doesn't deserve to go? And then ask yourself, why are you still with them? Why are you still around them? Why do you still allow them to be around you? Was what you don't change, you're choosing. And how are you able to go be great if you don't choose great? And I want you to think, if I cut these people off, what will happen? I want you to analyze the situation. Don't just go jump and do things. But analyze what will happen if I do or don't. How will that improve? What do they always bring around? What do they bring around me? How do they support me? How do they create this world that I'm wanting to be in? How do they help me build this dream that I'm wanting to build? I don't care who it is. How? Why? When? You got to answer all those. All of them. And sometimes, I like to, sometimes I want to question, is there certain family toxicity that you just can be too much to overcome? I know a lot of us like to really play that victim card though. I mean, me personally, I played it out. I played it out for a long time. And I got to the point, I'm like, my goodness. I can't get to the next step if I keep talking about how I'm a victim. I cannot get to the next space in my life if I keep acting like this. I can't get there. But I played that victim card out. I really did. But is there something that could be too harsh to overcome? Have you gone through something that's too hard to come back from? And I really hope that answer for you is no. Because at the end of the day, it's up to you. They're not going to come through. Even if they gave you that sorry and everything you needed to hear, you still got to put in the healing. Because for how long did you live in survival? For how long did you respond out of that character that you created? How long did you wear that mask? So that 15 to 20 minutes of them apologizing and fixing it isn't going to undo 5, 10, 15, 20 years of the pain and the anguish that you carried around with you, of the character and habits that you created. So you still got to put in that work, right? I have seen some pretty impressive things of people coming back from really harsh realities, really harsh times, that they still are able. And it is truly impressive how much the mind and body and just how much the human can endure. And I truly hope that you see it, and I believe that you can get through that you can overcome what has happened to you. You don't have to be the victim anymore. You can be the successor. You can be the survivor. You can be your best self and still had gone through what you have gone through. You can still build from that. And honestly, maybe that fire that you went through was to just clean out everything that you wouldn't get rid of yourself. This isn't for everybody, but maybe that fire you went through was to clean out them weeds and them bushes and them toxicities and them snakes that you wouldn't clean out yourself. I just want you to think about it like that. And if you want to, in taking it a step further, if we want to take and put in astrology in here, I want you to look and see what your moon sign is. How are you processing your emotions about what you had gone through? Because if your moon is in Libra, you're going to process that way different than you are if you're in Aries. If your moon is in Aries, you're going to take that on way, way differently than say if you were a Virgo or a Pisces. These people are going to you're going to have looked at your environment and your situation very differently in the process that you went through, and handling that, accepting that, receiving that, and how you overcame are going to be different. And if you want to do some research find out where your moon sign is and find out how that affected how you processed what you went through, and then how that can help you now process what you went through. Now that you have more self-awareness, now that you have that growth, go and find out what your moon sign is. And then even take it a step further, find out what house your moon is in. Because I'll tell you one thing, family pain, like going to family functions right now gives me so much anxiety. Like right now it's the holiday time, and I get so much anxiety about going to be around my immediate not my immediate family, but the immediate family I grew up with, right? Brothers, sisters, etc. That family pain can carry with you and create such loneliness and such toxicity that you will create a whole different person than who you were supposed to become. So how are you going to undo what you did to survive? What are your steps? How are you learning about yourself to overcome that so that you don't pass that on to your children, to your children's children? Because then they're going to carry it on. They're going to carry that on. When is it going to stop? Many times, I think that a lot of my frustration with my parents and the toxicity that we had, because poverty isn't the problem. Poverty is not the problem. Poverty is okay. Actually, it could create a little bit of grit, right? It's we didn't know when meals were coming. All right, cool. But it's that toxicity that comes with poverty, that mental health issues, the lack of opportunity, so on and so on. And a lot of the time that when I'm upset, it's not really about, a lot of it can be about what I went through, but there's a piece of me in there that is like, why didn't you want to change generational curses? How come you didn't notice your behavior was so toxic and you had to change? How did you not see? How did you not have the type of self-awareness that was needed to build a better person? How did you not? Where was all of this with us? That really pisses me off when I think about it. Like, why didn't you take some steps? Why does it gotta be on me? Then I gotta step back and be like, Ashley, that's petty. Your parents didn't have the tools, Ash. They did not have the tools. And you expecting, right? There's the expecting. You expecting them to have the tools or to go looking for the tools is now just creating you more pain. So either you're going to go get the freaking tools or you're not going to go get the tools, Ash, and you're going to build better. You're going to build better and you're going to build faster now that you went and got the tools yourself. That's it. They weren't given to you. I'm going to just have to radically accept that. They were not given to you. You got to go get them. You got to accept that. And no matter what, you're going to be great. When you go and get them tools, you're going to go be great. You got this.